Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
It's past 12. Welcome. Hi, I'm Shiv.
And I'm Samaj.
And welcome to the Sunday Sit, not your usual meditation series. This is for anyone, whether you're a beginner, you've never meditated or done any mindfulness before, or whether you're quite seasoned. Because the one thing about all of us, across whether we're a beginner or whether we've been doing it forever, is no one gets away with not doing it. You see, 20 years, you've still got to sit with yourself and you've got to keep meeting yourself. Now, quite often what we're doing in our meditations and mindfulness is we're meeting a practice, right? And so when I say this is not your usual meditation practice, the intention here is we are meeting ourselves because it's about bloody time, right?
It is.
And just like the weather, yesterday we had blue skies on the beach, people in bikinis, not us, but there were people. Today cloudy, last week lots of rain, next week lots of rain.
Yeah.
Everything's ever changing, right? Including ourselves. So we are never the same as we were. And so when we come and we make a commitment that we're going to meet ourselves and we actually turn up, then we might actually learn something. And instead of doing everything how everybody else wants it done, we can start tuning into ourselves and seeing how we want to be instead of how people want things done. And it's such a nuance of change, but it makes such a huge difference, especially when life slaps you upside the head like that. Just when you're driving along, mind your own business, and woo, what is that? You feel me?
And life does that.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes.
Cover the kids' ears, but seriously, that's another reason it's not your usual meditation. Mofo, because we might drop a little bomb here and there, but right?
Yes. It's
so
absolutely true.
Really, I think there's lots of things that's very beautiful about this practice. I think the most beautiful thing is it's one of those things that, yes, when you sit and do it right now, you will feel better afterwards because you've actually just had like a pause and a break from the world, right? So that's a beautiful thing. When you sit now and the next time and the next time and then keep doing that, and the times build it into months, seasons, years, decades, you're still sitting in the same way. With all of that, there is, when life pats you upside the head, there is a way of, sure, but then coming back and finding yourself again because you know where you are and you know who you are. And when world and life wants to knock you off that center and pull you into theirs, you have that resilience, and there it is a beautiful practice of resilience. I speak from doing it since 1999, so I feel it.
Yes.
Right?
You're building your tools.
Building your tools.
Your tools of change.
Tools of change, right. Yeah, I like that. I like our toolbox.
Yeah, the toolbox.
Because really, we have had a week heavy of people, me especially. Details, not necessary, but people. You may understand. Just people! So, really knocked me off kilter for 3 days. The fourth day I brought myself back. Could you please put that on mute?
Yes.
I'm hearing myself.
Sorry.
But one of the things, lots of good stuff came out of it too. Won't want to go through it again, but good stuff came out and maybe still will, who knows. But the thing is, it's about, it's kind of like dealing with things, say the glass half full or half empty. It's often a discussion about that, right? Like, what kind of person are you? Do you view it half full or half empty? Well, then you may have heard me say before there is that third option, one the psychologist brings up, that it doesn't matter whether it's half full or half empty or what your perception of it is. What matters is how long you hold it for. Do you get that? So you see, even if it's half full and it's not that heavy, I've got my little cup here of espresso. Should I take a sip? I think I will. Can I take a sip of yours as well?
Cheers.
Cheers. Someone's probably going to say, oh, it's bad luck to do cheers with... Seriously.
Yeah.
I don't live in that world.
No. It's all good.
But anyway, let's see. And my long espresso. But anyway, this is a small cup, right? So I could hold it. It's not heavy. Except if I have to sit here and hold it for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, it becomes heavy and burdensome, right? In fact, what am I going to do? How can I just washed my hair? How am I going to finish drying it with only one hand? I can't even plug the hairdryer in, and I've got to make sure I don't spill it because it's spillable. You know, I've got to make sure I don't leave it on top of the car like I did yesterday. I left both of them on top of the car, and only when I heard a kunk, kunk, kunk as we were driving along, I said, oh, coffee cups.
But they were saved.
But they were saved by the tooling. Coffee was not, the cups were. But anyway, holding it, right? Our burdens, our troubles, people, they become heavy, right? Our grudges become heavy. I was writing on the second night of all of this crap that's been going on, that grudges are heavy for the bearer, right? The person you're holding, that one, they're just going along their business. That's why they're like that, right? Like, that's who they are. Who are you, right? Don't let them knock you off your center of who you are. Remembering that on this side, what we're here for is to put into action the things we've been talking about. There's loads of people talking about shit, and they go to nice little retreats and they read the right text and they're in the right groups and all of that, but they're not doing anything, right? So this is about you meeting yourself and doing that. Deb, because I'm looking at Debbie Lynette. Deb J is in the house. Deb J in the house. That is awesome to see. I'm glad you made it live, Deb. So anyway, burdensome to hold these burdens. So what can we do? What we can do is we can deal with what we can deal with, right? We can do what is in our control. And then when we have done that, we can put it on the side. You can call that the spiritual back burner. You can say giving it up to God, giving it up to source, whatever it is you want to say, but to metaphorically put it down and then be able to find somewhere in your pattern of the day a little piece of peace for you to simply be. It's kind of like carbon offsetting, right? That's how I think of it. It doesn't really solve the problem. However, there's an offset. There's a way that you can tiny offset all that happened over here. So our own carbon offsetting, if that makes sense. And in this way, it becomes a very real tool, a very practical tool, because you really can bring yourself back. And even in between times, which are to me the most curious, right? The in-between times. So in between all of the things going on, that even as you're walking to meetings and whatever it is that you have to go and endure, that you can take breaths, you can calm down the system. Nice inhales through the nose, nice exhales through the mouth, like blowing through a straw. And you just keep doing that as you're walking towards whatever it is, you know, because your whole body feels like it's being chased by a tiger. It's not. That's what's happening to you inside. And so we want to try and mitigate that, offset that, right? Because we're not being chased by a tiger, and this shit is not as important as they might think. We have to find a way to come back to center, just like in the labyrinth. Anyway, enough of me.
That's great.
Yeah?
How about the question?
How about
of
the question?
day? Let's check it out. Let's see what we got. Okay, the question is, I can't stop thinking during meditation. How do I stop it?
Look at me all slouched down here. We're all just hanging out on the sofa. Just hanging out.
How do you stop it?
I can't stop thinking. I can't stop my thoughts. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, because there's that perception that meditation is all about us becoming very zen-like, and there's nothing in here except what needs to be in here. It's not true. We're never going to stop our thoughts, right? So there's nothing you're doing wrong to start with. Like, anytime you come and sit with yourself, you can't do anything wrong, right? You just can't. And if anything, you could just do less than what you're doing, right? Like, think less about it or whatever. But you can't really do it wrong. So the thought process is going to keep going on, but you're not going to keep thinking about it. So when you think about, oh gosh, I've got to go and need to make that appointment, then what you want to try and do is come back, or not just keep wandering off and, oh, but then again, and then the kids need picking up and just going off onto a train, right? But really as well, I mean, that's what they say, as well, it's really, for many of us, even that's challenging, even just sitting with yourself, like literally just stopping doing anything else and just sitting with yourself, with your eyes closed, your eyes not closed, whatever, for a period of time with no judgment. There's a big one. That has been a massive practice. You know, and then if you want to take it into, the practice, it would be that you are not thinking about your thoughts, right? And then also remember that there's different practices, there's different ways you can practice. So Samaj and I we did a YouTube of, 30 days of sit and drop, I think it was. Was that an hour a day? It was an insane amount of time.
Yeah.
Where we just sat. And we just let our minds do whatever, right? So there are different ways. But it is about becoming more mindful. And mindful is aware, noticing, right? Everyone's a big it's mindfulness practice. It's noticing and being aware of where your mind goes. So oftentimes you can be doing one thing and your mind is right over there doing something else. And you remember neither, right? That will be mindfulness. We'll be noticing, oh, my mind's over there. I'm driving my car and I'm like, well over there. Let me bring my mind back. I'll be back in my car. There we go. Am I going to be mindful 100% of the time? Absolutely bloody not. And if anybody tells you that they are, and then don't believe anything else to say, because obviously if they're going to say that, then, well. Me, I've got sort of practice to do, so, But it is a lovely thing to sit and meet yourself, right? So that's what we're going to do, because life's got a bit sticky. So what we want to do is, when life especially gets sticky, is to especially remind ourselves who we are, and then find a place that we can find a piece of peace, we like to call it. We went out to the beach yesterday, dropped a whole bunch of, a big labyrinth and a couple of notes, and had a lot of people walking them and stuff. It was really lovely. Yeah. So that was quite nice. But being able to know where we can go that is not our old addictions. So for me, this would have led to, several martinis and some meal or whatever, and so it didn't. And I feel, and actually it led to me researching some really cool stuff and bringing a new practice. So we'll have more of that in a while. But for right now, I'm going to give you a little quote from Joseph Campbell, which is one of my favorite quotes. That's how we're going to start our sit, and then we're going to just going to sit and remember who we are. So, are we ready? Can I get the clock there, please? I keep touching my head because I'm thinking, is my glasses there? All right, so here's our quote from The Power of Myths, one of my favorite ones. I have it in front. It's actually got a little blue tack on the back because I just took it from my desk. and it's the one that I see. We have not even to risk the adventure alone. The labyrinth is thoroughly known. We have only to follow the thread of the hero path, and where we thought to slay another, we shall slay ourselves. Where we have thought to travel outward, we will come to the center of our existence. And where we had thought to be alone, we will be with all the world. Our power is here. It has always been here. And everybody else is additional, right? We can always come back to here. Sometimes we just need to quiet all of that. And that's what we're going to do. Who are you tapping to?
Mama Rose.
Mama Rose? You wouldn't even tell me that Mama Rose is in the house. Mama
To let
Rose.
you finish reading.
She didn't pick up the phone this morning, but she's on the live. So that's good, Mama. Good morning. We gave you a call. Oh, and happy Mother's Day to all of those in the, I don't know if it's just England, maybe the rest of Europe. It's Mother's Day. I spoke with my mother this morning. She's having dinner with my brother, good old brother. He's a good guy. Gave her big flowers. Thank you, Sean. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And in fact, whether it's Mother's Day in your region or not, happy Mother's Day to you. What a fantastic job you've done. So with that, let us sit and remember who we are. So whatever's comfortable to you, just come and sit like that. I am leaning slightly back. My back is straight, but I'm enjoying feeling the support. And perhaps this is a time when you might need to or might enjoy feeling the support that you might otherwise not necessarily feel. I'm hoping that the sound is, I should have asked this earlier, are we sorted with sound? Please let us know if the sound is going in and out or anything. So much keep checking. So as we start to sit down with ourselves, closing our eyes or softening the gaze, taking in the noises and sounds around you, that of people, things, machines. Feeling the rise of your belly. There you go, as you inhale, how it falls as you exhale. No effort required on your part, no direction needed. It's just doing it itself. At the same time, your belly's rising and falling, your heart is beating, your lungs pumping with the heart, blood is circulating. All of these things going on inside of us. Such complexity that runs with such smoothness until it gets hit from the outside and gets a bit wobbly. You can remember at these times how it is to sit here now, just simply breathing with ourselves, allowing our systems to do what they do while we sit and breathe and notice and breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And as silly as it sounds, those simple phrases can become an anchor for you, your mind, the nervous system, your being, to get a little respite, a pause from the chaos outside, a place to remember who you really are, a child of the divine, a living, breathing, precious human being. And while the outside world measures you from measurements taken outside, you yourself measure yourself from the inside. Precious. Every single breath that we are taking here is taking us one breath closer to our very, very, very last breath. A sober thought. Or an enlivening one. Let these breaths be done in absolute joy, because these are the ones. And they won't come again. Chances may come again. This next breath will never, ever, ever come again to you. So as life comes and knocks us off our feet, we can spend these precious, precious breaths of ours wallowing, blaming, pointing, trying to even make sense. Or we can find a way to be able to package it up in a way that is still agreeable to our senses for closure, and to be able to move forward, because we have evolved from that. We have learned on this path with our experience that grudges are heavy for the bearer, that when we keep holding on to this stuff, we damage only ourselves. And really, in light of everything, it's such a silly thing to get yourself caught up about. So we learn from it. We gather information so that when we go forward, we know more, but we don't let it hold us down. In fact, we probably let it fire us up. So often we want to fix things, but sometimes just a little distance, a little perspective, a little pause can give us the information that we need to move forward in a way we haven't moved forward before. It's time to not just aspire to practices and read them and recite them, but to be them in real life, in these sticky situations. Life is not a rehearsal, it's a practice. You get to practice until you don't. along the way we get to pause and take stock. Like now, pause and take stock. Who are you right now, sitting here, right now, in this moment? Can you feel yourself grounded to the earth? Can you feel yourself breathing inside? Can you feel the quiet that you can create? Because in this quiet, that's where you will hear the whispers of wisdom from within. It is these whispers that are the most profound and often very faint whispers. Starting bringing yourself back into the room, wherever you are. You can just stretch yourself up a little bit. Open your eyes when you're ready. I like to open mine quite slowly, coming back in. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hey.
That was nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have a nice meeting with yourself?
So,
Awesome. That's brilliant. I think next week we're going to start the 10-part using mindfulness in real life. We'll share one tip each week. Different ways we can use mindfulness.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Nice one. How is it for
Might
you?
learn a thing or two.
You might learn a thing or
Yeah,
two. Well, I
right?
like to learn a thing or two.
Learn a thing or two.
Learn a thing. I don't know where that came from, but anyway.
I was channeling.
I don't know either. Aw, nice one. Deb says that she wants to re-watch it tonight before bed. Such a nice sit and chill. I like that, Deb. Actually, sit and chill.
That's right.
We had the sit and drop, but sit and chill. Nice one.
Very nice.
Cheers, Deb J.
Thank you, Deb J.
Nice to have her back. Just yeah. Where's Laurie? We need Laurie back in the house. Tony! Flashback for those who know. If you know, you know. I think Deb just gave us she'll be telling Laurie.
Yeah.
She'll tell Laurie. She'll say, Daddy! Where is he? So, and Addie Sundry as well. I thought we had Addie Sundry last week. Yeah, it was the first week we haven't had Addie Sundry.
Yeah.
Addie Sundry. All right. Well, I know life gets in the way. Life does what life does. But we have made the commitment that we're going to be here every Sunday at noon. So every Sunday at noon, here we will be, informing us as we go along. Let us know down below if you're joining afterwards, and if you've got a question. Do you have a question you want us to do? Because we're happy to do it. And as I said, next week we're going to start the 10-week series of how to use the one tip a week of mindfulness that you can use in everyday IRL in real life. Ooh, how hip are we? IRL. Wow. We'll be doing TikTok next.
Right.
Hey. Don't get too excited there. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Shiv.
I'm Samaj.
Alone we can do so much, but together we can do so much more. Join us for the Sunday sit, and we'll be sharing much more soon. Much love. Bye, Deb.